There you
Here
go.
we are. I have turned this thing on. We are going live. For what reasoning? John Anile,
Oh, we're
Noonan
going live. Oh.
wants a beer. So we're going to drink a beer. All right.
There you
Cool.
go.
Man, if I
Right.
knew we were going live, I'd have got something a little better than this. But
April Fool's Day edition. And as I say in the description, we ain't fooling. We're reviewing beer.
And
Uh,
it's my birthday.
we got Wet Dream, and we got John Anile, and your host, Thomas Metal 75. Go search for that channel. That's where you'll find this, the Massachusetts Beer Reviews channel of YouTube. And today is April Fool's Day. I'm going to be drinking this Collective Arts Surround Sound Double Dry Hop Double IPA, as you can see, 8.2% Citra, Simcoe, and Galaxy. They are out of the Collective Arts Brewing Company. Is in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. They make a lot of really good New England style IPAs and sour beers. This one was canned on January 29th, 2019. Excellent.
all right.
So, John Anile, a founder of tonight's feast, what are you drinking, sir?
Yeah, I'm just finishing up Hurricane High Gravity 8.1%. Got a few cans.
Right.
My little road trip. I haven't had it in a while. It's not available in Georgia or in Alabama anymore. At least not in Montgomery, Alabama, where my folks live. When I used to go visit them, I could pick up a couple cans
Yeah.
at the gas station, but they no longer sell it there. So anyway, it's yeah, I've been sipping on it for a while.
Okay. Mr. Wet Dream, you have any beers to be drinking with us this evening?
Drinking the Abaclear and Hawaiian Punch right now.
Oh,
All right.
all right. Manly beverage.
Going all out for your birthday, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Everclear. Be
I'm
careful.
probably
Be
gonna
careful
go
with that Everclear.
Yeah. I take it
Like
slow. Don't worry.
gasoline, man.
Okay. So you want to give us a little John Anile history with the Hurricane High Gravity and a little taste test here?
Yeah, sure. So Hurricane High Gravity, Anheuser-Busch InBev brand, was introduced in 2005, 8.1% alcohol by volume. I've had it many times, but like I said, it's been a while since I've had it. Nice golden color, poured with a little bit of a head, but I've been drinking it for a while, so it's died down. I want to drink this one pretty cold. It is not one that gets better as it warms.
Can't imagine.
You're getting some barley malt. It is made with rice and corn adjunct, which I think is pretty interesting for a malt liquor. And then dextrose syrup. But yeah, I'm picking up some barley malt, a little bit of like sweetness that I'm attributing to the corn, even though you're not technically supposed to pick up on the adjunct, but I am with this. No alcohol on the aroma at 8.1%, which for this style of beer, there's not a lot of other additives to really mask the alcohol. So I think that the fact that I'm not picking up the alcohol is it's a positive sign. The taste, it's really good. It's definitely malt forward. It's very sweet. You're getting some grainy type notes with it. Like our buddy Ron Terrio of Louisiana Beer Review says, like grain husk. Kind of getting some of that. It's kind of on the medium side with the body. The finish is crisp, clean, refreshing, relatively dry. And carbonation is relatively low, though. But it's refreshing. It's not my favorite high gravity malt liquor because the alcohol is a little bit noticeable on the finish. I think the Schlitz, Gold Bull, the Natty Daddy, and a few others are slightly superior to this. But it's definitely an enjoyable malt liquor, and it's definitely smoother than the Still Reserve, 8.1%. Yeah. So I like it.
Excellent. So we have Collective Arts Surround Sound Double Dry Hop DIPA, Simcoe Citron Galaxy, 8.2. They say delicious combination of tropical fruit, citrus, and dank resin notes dominate this DIPA thanks to a huge dosing of 20 gallons dry hop load of those Simcoe Galaxy and Citra hops. I will try to pick this beer up and turn my camera back on. Sometimes it goes on and then it goes off.
Okay, that's not just me. I was about to say I couldn't see you there.
Don't know
I
why
thought
it
maybe
does
my
that.
connection went to shit, but
No,
apparently
my
not.
camera does that.
Okay.
I poured this whole thing in the glass, and look at that. Yeah, that's got a
A lot of sediment there, huh?
one. Damn. Usually, a smaller amount of the beer in the glass will yield a higher amount of the head, but there's what it looks like. It's kind of more orangey on camera, and definitely so much of this pulpy looking sediment there, but definitely sort of lemony, orangey, yellow, hazy with the white head. And yeah, it really jumps off as sort of having a sweet white bready white bready malt. But there's definitely like a bubble gummy kind of a thing going on in the yeast, to be completely honest. I don't want to say like milkshakey IPA, but definitely bubble gummy because of the yeast, I think, is what I'm getting there. Very tropical in the nose, lots of grapefruit and actual some pineapple and some fleshy orange in there. Maybe a bit on the toasty side, but not too much of that. Lots of head on that beer. Hello. Lots of resinous, oily notes to it, and a little bit of a heft of 8.2. So let's see how it drinks on camera. Surround sound for your drinking pleasure.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See if it surrounds with flavor. Yeah. So totally getting this bubblegummy, yeasty kind of sweetness to it. Also getting some sweetness from some white kind of bready malts that I'm tasting. Definitely sweet, definitely resinous, definitely a little bit oily. Yeah. Not the most masked on the planet Earth of 8.2. As it dries, it leaves you with a little bit of the sting of 8.2, but it's not anything that's harsh in any way. You can just tell it's just a bigger, bolder beer. I would say it's between medium and full on the medium side for me. It's actually pretty crisp. It is somewhat clean. It does have a little bit of sweetness at the end. And it's refreshing as all hell, but you're going to have to like a little bit more of a perceived 8.2 in your glass. So I would say definitely bordering those milkshakey, smoothie things, but not quite that upfront sweet. But so far, it's enjoyable for the most part. And
does that one have flaked oats in it or no?
I imagine with how it's tasting, I'm getting a little bit of that velvety kind of creamy smoothness. They don't necessarily tell you on the website.
The reason I ask is because the appearance is not quite as like thick looking as some of the New England IPAs that I've had. So I was just curious.
As you can tell from the glass, I mean, it looks like a snow globe, for God's sakes. I mean, all that yeast is contributing to such a mass amount of the beer's overall flavor to it. So you kind of have to like those sweeter bubblegummier notes, and maybe even a little bit of the spice kind of notes you can get from yeast inside of your beer. But more of it's a bubblegummy kind of sweetness, almost like a wheat beer, like a German style Hefeweizen.
Okay.
But yeah. Wet Dream, it's your birthday, and you're drinking Everclear. Hello.
Yep, with Hawaiian Punch, diet.
How is that going?
Very good. I'm on my second drink.
All right.
There, and I had 4 beers at the strip club. I'm doing all right.
In the macro booties.
Yep, I had Corona actually.
What kind of beer?
Corona. Yeah.
Corona. All right.
Yeah. Would you recommend Everclear to a first-time alcohol drinker?
No.
Okay. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be stupid. Unless it's your birthday, don't be stupid, people. If you're going to drink,
if you can't already get moonshine, get flavored moonshine.
What's your thoughts? Well, John's in a unique place in the world, literally, when it comes to alcohol and grabbing alcohol and trying alcohols. But what's your experience with Everclear, if any? Or anything similar to it?
Mine? When I've had Everclear. I had Hunch Punch when I was like 18, 19 at a fraternity party. Hawaiian Punch and Everclear, and I had to have a friend drive me home because it was not fun. It did. I mean, I was a lot younger and my alcohol tolerance was not very good, and Hawaiian Punch is delicious, and you mix Everclear with Hawaiian Punch and you've got a great drink, but yeah.
110 proof.
It snuck up on me, and I had to have a friend drive me home because I was incapacitated.
Damn.
So,
is the Hurricane High Gravity a little bit less of a chore to drink here?
oh yeah, Hurricane High Gravity. It's smooth. It's pretty easy drinking for a high gravity malt liquor. It's not my favorite, like I said, but it's great. I mean, I go ahead and give it a rating if you want. It's I gave it.
Whatever you got.
It's an 89 for me. It's B plus. I think the Schlitz Gold Bull is better. I think Daddy's better. I think.
Daddy did.
Oh, what else is?
What about Colt 45?
Oh yeah, well, Colt 45, yeah, but I'm thinking like the Colt 45 High Gravity 8.5. I think is better than this. But yeah, I'm talking like the malt liquors in the 8 to 8.5% ABV range. This is one of my. It's not one of my favorites, but it's still a very well made product, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody that likes malt liquor, especially
and
high
for
gravity.
the price point too, it's $1.69 or to $1 to close to $2 around that area.
Yeah, it's less than. I think it was 2 for $3 for these cans, so pretty good deal.
Probably is.
It's got to be better than Steel Reserve 211 8.1.
Yes, Steel Reserve. I do like this better than Steel Reserve. Now the Steel Reserve 6% is very good, but the Steel Reserve 8.1% may very well be the harshest high gravity malt liquor that I've ever had.
What is your thought on Mickey's?
Oh, Mickey's is great. 5.6%. Smooth. It's like a regular beer, just about. I mean, it's very low or very sessionable ABV level. I'd like to try the Mickey's Ice. I'd like to try the Mickey's Ice Brewed Ale, but I've never been able to get that one.
I've never even seen it. Maybe I'll look for it.
I saw it once in Gainesville, Florida, and I didn't pick it up. And then I went back a year later, and it was gone, and I've never seen it again. So I will
regret that, man.
It'll be the one that you regret.
Regret that for the rest of my life.
What is the worst April Fool's prank that anyone's ever played on you, John and Nilly? It's April Fool's Day today.
I could tell you what happened to me. A friend invited me over and said there was beer and there were only on duels, and he said April Fools.
Tom Brady says 9 hours ago he's retiring.
That he's what?
That Tom Brady is retiring. He said that 9 hours on Twitter. All right. And then McDonald's says they have a new shake sauce, a sweet new way to dip. Okay. If you want to shake that tastes like Mac sauce, there you go. You got to be really drunk to want to drink Mac sauce with ice cream in it.
It's almost as bad as Tugging Ranch.
So I have one of these Collective Arts surround sounds the other day. I think maybe Saturday night at one point. And I had just bought it, so it wasn't extremely cold. I think this is definitely a little bit better cold. There's not quite as much of the perceived 8.2. I mean, it's still kind of in here. It's not extremely well masked. I thought the artwork is kind of interesting.
What's the price point on that?
Oh, this was dumb. This was like probably was 15 for the 4-pack.
Okay.
So there are other beers in the Collective Arts. I don't know how many. Maybe have you had any of these Collective Arts, John?
No, I cannot get Collective Arts, unfortunately, in my area. Tyler always talks about the Collective Arts stuff.
I've
never seen it.
They do really good sours and gozas, as well as they do these really good New England sort of style IPAs. And I think this one, as good as it is, I think it's just a little bit too imperial and big for its own good, but that's probably exactly how they brewed it to be. It's not the most easiest drinking beer in the world. I think a lot of their other New England style IPAs and pale ales, and even some of the sours, are a little bit better. They're a little bit more rounded, and the alcohol isn't necessarily so like up in your face. But if you kind of like your doubles and your imperials, and you like that double and imperial sort of a kick to your beer, then yeah, this is the New England style to get. But they have like IPA number 5, number 7, I think, or number 3 and 7. I don't get number 5 where I am, but I've heard everybody in Canada talk like that's the best one. There's a Ransack the Universe. There's a Life in the Clouds, which is a really good New England style IPA. So I mean, I can't really fault it for what it is. Maybe it's an 87 out of 100. I just kind of wish that there was maybe less alcohol and a higher amount of drinkability, but still, it's all right for what it is. Yeah.
Right.
So we have, let's see here, Jeremy Vincent is watching. Ronnie S thinks I'm drinking a beer called Collective Farts. Jeremy Vincent says, all we got is O'Toole's, you fools. All right.
That's funny that I mentioned that and he mentioned that.
We got
Ronnie wants to know what score Wet gives his drink, the Everclear, and
I don't give it high, not at all. I give it 79.
we got Alex the Drunken no, Alex the Beer Master, who never has beer. How are you a master of beer without beer?
He has it sometime. It's just he doesn't drink that much, I guess.
Drunken One, all the YouTube heroes in one spot, winning.
No, we're missing you, Drunken One. We're missing the biggest hero of all, the Drunken One.
Drink a beer.
Does Drunken One have beer? Is the question.
He drink that whole kegerator?
Bird fly. I mean, yeah.
Yep. There you go. Join Drunken One.
No, he was kegging the other half of his beer that he made the other day today. Oh, there you go. He's joining conversation.
Yep. April Fool's Day. U.S. Open adds puppies to the ball person team for the 2019 tournament for the first time. All breeds welcome. What a crazy day this April Fool's Day is. Hopefully that means better weather and no more snow ever again until next year.
It was 72 degrees here today in Georgia.
Yeah, it's starting to get really nice outside in New England. Hopefully it's campfire and beer weather outside. I'm looking forward to that.
It's always beer weather.
You're inside. So tell us about this epic collection of beers you just hauled in, John and Millie.
Oh man, I got a bunch of stuff from Lidl's, like some store brand stuff, and Lidl's is kind of like Trader Joe's, Aldi. They have a lot of their own store brands. I got some Evil Twin stuff. I got a lot of like hidden Pabst brands like Country Club, Red Dog.
I love Red Dog.
National Bohemian, Natty Bo. Old Milwaukee Ice. There's a review coming up on that. Stuff that you just can't get at a lot of states. And then, of course, I got a ton of really good craft beer. Evil Twin. I got a bunch of their stouts for Stout Sunday and just in general. Because I only get 2 or 3 Evil Twin beers in Georgia right now. They're expanding, but I can't get a lot of their stuff. So I bought a ton of Evil Twin stuff. I bought, I don't even know, man. I got the new Tecate Titanium 7.5%. I got a ton of stuff.
I bet you in a couple weeks you're going to make that trip again and get stock up again.
Well, I get a lot of good beer in Georgia too. Georgia's got hundreds of craft breweries. We get some really good stuff, but we don't get a lot of the macro, like the Pabst legacy brands here in
I
Georgia.
like Red Dog. Red Dog is the shit.
Red Dog, Natty Bow, Schlitz, stuff like that. So I got a lot of good stuff that I can't get here in Georgia. But the craft beer scene in Georgia is popping. I mean, we've got I probably got 100 craft breweries within 50 miles of here. So
Nice.
you know,
Our good buddy Louisiana Beer Views just did Schlitz versus Miller High Life. For anybody.
oh yeah, Schlitz all day. Dude, I can get Miller High Life and it's good, but I can't get Schlitz and it's much better.
Have you done? I asked because obviously I haven't looked, so I apologize. Have you done a non-5 related beer facts video, John and Illy?
You should know that I did because I tagged you to do one.
Well, I heard people telling me I should do one in general, and
I tagged you in the Eric. You know, it kind of makes me sad
tagged
that you don't watch my channel, but that's
I
okay.
haven't seen no goddamn tags.
I tagged you. The thing is, you do 5 non-related facts, and then you have to tag 3 more people at the end. I tagged Ron Ontario, who already did his video. I tagged Ronnie S, who is doing a video, who doesn't even have a channel, but he's doing a video. And then I tagged you, and it makes me sad that you don't know that I was the one that tagged you.
Tag 3. It's going
right.
to be hard to say something to any of the community that may not really be known. So to give that a nice thought for what to tell people.
Non-beer related, like
I live in Massachusetts. I think you all know that.
You ride a bicycle. I don't know, something weird.
Watch mine, Eric, and see the kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just like personal stuff, but it doesn't have to be too personal. But like stuff that people, like the beer people or people that watch your channel, your beer reviews, they don't, that they wouldn't know about.
Right. Yeah.
You sleep and listen to Celine Dion in bed, something like that.
Please do. All right.
That sounds like more of an Alex the Beer Master thing.
Oh god. Uh-oh.
I'm just kidding, Alex. I love you, man.
You take bubble baths with red wine, something like that.
All right. Whoa. Hey, you should stop coming over to my house. Bubble bath. Yeah, all right. I'll find something to say to people. Yeah, why not? So what else is going on in craft beer community? Maybe I'll be able to host on a Wednesday night this week. We'll see about that. That might happen. You're still doing Stout Sunday this weekend. That's correct, John?
That's the plan. Yeah.
Excellent.
You already have your beer ready?
Well, I've got like 100 to choose from, so I'll figure it out.
100 beer. Yeah. There you go.
I'll figure it out before then.
How many basketfuls did you have? I'm curious on that.
I don't know. Over the 2 day, I had a trunk full. The trunk of my car was full.
Nice.
So.
You didn't get any like liquors that you can't get over there?
No, I didn't buy any liquor. I get pretty good liquor selection here. There's nothing. I'm more of a beer guy anyway. I mean, I enjoy liquor, but like, there's nothing that I could think of that I just had to have that I couldn't already get in Georgia. Georgia's pretty good about. We got some pretty good package stores in Peachtree City, Atlanta. Like, I can get a lot of stuff. So
there you go.
Here's some beer-related news for y'all. And this came out today, this beer news. Ruth Bader Ginsburg celebrated her 86th birthday last month, and now you can toast the Supreme Court Justice with her very own beer.
This isn't an April Fool's joke?
As USA Today reports, she has created a beer in honor of the history make. They've created this beer, Sam Adams, to honor her. It's a Belgian Brut IPA, and it was brewed on March 8th, International Women's Day, they say. Who knows if they're trying to make a funny joke for April Fool's Day or not, but I've heard that before April Fool's Day happened, so that actually may be a real
okay. That'd be a pretty cruel joke because then it would be like a slight to National Women's Day. Yeah,
right.
It's like, we're just kidding. Women don't matter. We're not making this beer.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yep. Oh, and this probably is not true, I bet you, because USA Today says it's giving new meaning to the bar exam.
Ah,
I can't imagine this is real. So we just got punked live. All right, there you go. Or at least I did. I can't imagine that's real, but if that was real, that would be crazy. They were calling it they were gonna call it a Belgian Brute IPA. And then it was gonna be called When There Were Nine, in reference to her famous reply to the question about when there will be enough women on the Supreme Court.
wow.
There you
It's
go.
a lot of detail to be like not happening. Like that should be. I mean, what's going on? The world may never know.
Exactly. So there's some fake beer news for April Fool's Day for you. See what else we got for beer news. Apparently, Stone versus Miller Coors is going forward with their lawsuit. On Tuesday, a federal judge denied Stone's motion for a preliminary injunction, as well as the San Diego-based craft brewery's attempt to dismiss Miller Coors' counterclaims. And although U.S. District Judge Roger T. Benitez denied Stone's motions, he wrote that the craft brewery's trademark infringement claim is, quote, moderately strong, and said the Stone trademark is indisputable with protective ownership. So what do you think about that, Wet Dream and John and Nelly?
No comment.
No comment. No comment. I don't know.
Macro guy, you drink some of the Keystone. What do you think? This is pretty stupid, John. Well, what's your thought on all this crazy?
What, the laws? I thought they were done with
in
that.
general?
I think the whole thing was stupid because it was. I mean, it was just a ploy to try to get some money. I mean, come on.
I just find it hard to believe.
Nobody in their right mind is confusing the two products. I mean, come on.
Especially if you're picking up an $8 or $9, maybe even cheaper. My area is kind of bad for beer prices in Massachusetts, but even if you're picking up an $8 or $9 12-pack of beers that say Stone on it, and you actually think it's Stone Brewing Company beers, you're gonna be disappointed real fast on that.
Yeah, if you really believe that, then you probably shouldn't be drinking. You should be like in a mental institution.
Oh shit!
Jesus, John.
I mean, if somebody like looks at a Keystone Ice or can or whatever and they think it's, I mean, come on. I'm not even gonna like. I shouldn't even have to get into that. People that think that are, I don't think they really exist. Honestly, I think it was just a ploy to get money. But if there are any people that actually get confused with that, then they got some problems.
Yeah. According to the California's, and this is from it's an article on brewhound.com for anybody interested. According to California Craft Brewery's release, this order means that Miller Coors Keystone cans are likely to confuse consumers, infringe on Stone's trademark, and will likely be forced to undergo a rebrand after the case goes to trial. So people are getting confused left and right on what actual beers that they're buying, and they think it's craft when it's really not. And oh, by the way, copyright infringement, I think, or trademark infringement, which may be more of the way to market this thing than saying that a consumer of, say, craft beer is going to get really confused about what it is that they're actually drinking. I just think people aren't really that educated about beer, or they're not actually reading the packaging of their beers they're buying.
Yeah.
Well, they probably sold a whole lot of it. I mean, people not paying attention. So.
They've been using Stone, as far as I know, has been using that or Miller Coors has been using that nickname for Stone Brewing Company, or for so yeah, now I'm getting confused. Miller has been using Stone as the nickname for the Keystone beers for a long time. So I don't think anybody's been getting confused, but we'll see how that particular trial is going, one sip at a time. Red Sox lost again. Damn it. All right. Cheers. Peace. See you later. I think we're going to Oakland to play the A's next. So we'll see if the Red Sox keep the losing streak going.
Braves aren't doing so good either. They lost. I think, have they won a game yet? I don't know.
The Mariners are on a tear thanks to the Red Sox. And speaking of Miller Coors, once again, a couple weeks ago, March 21st, Miller Coors sues Anheuser-Busch over corn syrup ads. Miller Coors filed a lawsuit. That was on March 21st. In the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Wisconsin, and they claim that Anheuser-Busch's Super Bowl or their Bud Light Super Bowl ad and its subsequent transparency ads are a part of a, quote, false and misleading advertising campaign aimed at deceiving health-conscious consumers. The lawsuit claims AB's ads could, quote, irreparably harm Miller Coors' goodwill and reputation as a brewer of high-quality beers and dilute its trademarks. If the ads aren't stopped, they are, quote, likely to result in significant loss of sales by Miller Coors. What's your thought on that, John and Nilly?
I don't know. I think the lawsuit is just. I mean, I don't think they can win. You know, Anheuser-Busch, you know, they got their lawyers involved and everything before they put this ad out. They didn't say anything in the ads that wasn't true. Miller Lite does use. I mean, all these other brands, they do use corn syrup, so it's not slander. It's not misleading. It's the truth, and whatever. Get over it. I mean, it's not. You can't win. I don't think you can win. I mean, it'd be one thing if they were saying that, you know, this beer is terrible, it's bad for you, blah, blah, blah. All they did was state the ingredients that the other beers used, and then they said that we don't use this. So what's wrong with that?
Yeah. Wet Dream, any thoughts on that craziness?
I have no comment on that. We already said everything that we needed to go over it.
That's more of an interesting lawsuit to me than Stone versus.
Do you think they're going to win? It's a question. Do you think they're going to win?
I just think that if we go back to Stone and Miller Coors, I think more than anything, Stone is trying to, they're trying to combat with the big boys, with the macros, just to kind of stick it to the big boys, saying, yeah, fuck macros. But however, I think it's a little more interesting when macros are fighting against macros, where everybody's fighting for your dollar. I mean, this is what everybody's doing, but especially Miller Coors and Anheuser-Busch. They're fighting for your dollar. I don't think that with the amount of ad campaigns that both of these companies do, they're going to be, each one of them wouldn't be losing any money. I don't think they're going to have beer drinkers, and
that's I just think it's in poor taste. I mean, Miller needs to just grow a pair and come up with their own ad, you know, campaign and you know, go against the Bud Light. I mean, just it's not worth. I just think it's in poor taste. Like, come on.
Yeah, you should have seen the crazy ad campaigns back in the 90s for just let's see here, when Nintendo and Sega were the giant, you know, the giants of the video gaming industry. You get it's very hard for a Sega to try to combat with Nintendo for all their history. However, they go and have this ad campaign for the Sega Genesis that says Sega does what Nintendo don't. Oh damn. It's like anybody's just going to try to put out an ad to try to make themselves more money than the other people. Isn't that what to be in a business it means to be in a business at the end of the day? You got to somebody, right? I don't think they're trying to slander anybody. However, it didn't come off to me, maybe because we're beer drinkers, right? When we think about this a little bit, it didn't come off to me in the Super Bowl ads as they were trying to tell me that Bud Light was more health conscious because it didn't use corn syrup. I think they were just trying to tout the fact that they were using better ingredients then. Miller Lite.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I interpreted it.
If you're looking at beer to be health conscious, maybe that's not the best way to look at beer. I hate to
You
admit.
shouldn't drink it then.
Right.
Huh.
Yep. And
I mean,
then,
you're not gonna get, and you're probably gonna get some health issues if you drink beer all the time regularly.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you know what? At the end of the day, just saying Miller and Miller Lite and just saying Coors Light in those ads is still giving Miller and still giving Coors some free publicity at the end of the day. It's still getting their name out to the public. So even if they were trying to bash those beer companies, Coors Light still probably got some sales, and definitely Miller Lite is getting some sales based on those ads. I would have to imagine.
Right.
Yep. But I mean, everyone knows Miller and Bush, regardless. I don't even have to make commercials anymore.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, your Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light drinkers, they are typically very rigid with what they drink. An ad like that is not going to get them to convert from one light beer to another.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the kind of beer drinker that is just, they're like, I don't know, they're like soda people, they're like cigarette smokers or whatever it is.
They like their only one kind of cigarettes, and they won't budge from getting another.
I mean,
like what they like, and they couldn't possibly tell you probably why they like what they like. They just kind of just stick with it.
They probably couldn't if they put 3 cigarettes to 3 different ones. I bet you they couldn't even tell you the difference.
Oh, probably.
I mean, could you? Okay, if you get a Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light, Bud Light Select, all those Bud Light family, can you taste the difference and tell me which is which?
I have done that on my channel, and I could only tell what Miller Lite was. Coors Light and Bud Light, and the crapshoot what that stuff is. Crapshoot. Now, if you watch our good buddy Jay Terrio, Louisiana Beer Reviews, he does so many different of those blind taste challenges, and obviously Bush beer was Budweiser, and he thought that was the better beer. So King of Beers has been overturned thanks to Louisiana Beer Reviews lately. Oh no. That's really the biggest news of beer. However, Anheuser-Busch apparently raked in $54.6 billion in revenue in 2018. So I don't think they're going anywhere, regardless of Miller Coors trying to sue them over corn syrup. But they're still trying to say that so there's another article that says the beer category health initiative jeopardized by Bud Light's corn syrup ad. So again, there's a large percentage of people that thought that they were trying to describe Bud Light as being a healthier alternative to the corn syrup laden beers of Miller Coors and Coors Light and Miller Lite, which is kind of strange to me. I don't look at beer as being a health conscious thing. Just the thing to think. As long as the industry leader is attacking an ingredient widely used in the beer industry, we're not going to spend any time or money on an industry health campaign. And that's entirely what didn't even cross my mind, was them trying to tell me that Bud Light's healthy to drink.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a company called the Beer Institute. So they're this big old corporation, and their goal is to create an ad campaign similar to other consumer products, similar to other consumer product goods industries, such as Got Milk or Beef, What's for Dinner commercials. That's sort of the things that they do, and they try to do it in a nice, health conscious way. I didn't realize that beer ads had to have health conscious in its marketing. I didn't realize that. But yeah, we're trying to advertise towards Z generation, minorities, and women.
What happened to Wet? I went to grab another beer and he's gone.
Uh-oh. I don't know. But what else were you going to drink this evening, Jean? I knew it.
I'm just I just got a natty bow.
Don't. No, we don't get that. We do not get that in New England.
Yeah, we don't get it here either. I got it in North Carolina.
Excellent. Could you explain
It's
that?
good. It's one of those hidden Pabst legacy brands that is only available in a few areas. Same with Red Dog. Same with Country Club, Old Milwaukee Ice, all kinds of stuff.
I'm out of beer. I must grab another beer. I have an interesting, well, it's not really a beer. I think I maybe alluded to this to you that I bought an interesting product of such nature. You describe that beer for a little bit, and I'll be right back with a new beer. Stay tuned. Here comes
All
Wedge
right.
again. Be right back, folks.
I'm back.
All right. What happened? You dropped your phone in Everclear?
No, the Wi-Fi messed up. I had to restart the router.
Okay.
Why, you thought I left?
No, I was just wondering. I said maybe you dropped your phone in Everclear.
That would be funny, but no. A drink has a lid.
Can you get Natty Bow where you are? What? National.
I never actually looked for it, but I will. The can looks cool.
This is actually the baseball edition. The
How does
regular
the other can look?
I think the regular can is just white and it's got like red labeling on it.
That's what you're drinking now, or you're?
Yeah. I finished the Hurricane. I'm on the Natty Bow now.
I thought you were going to go for the 40 ounce.
What state are you in? What?
Austin.
Oh, you're in Texas too, man. Everybody's in Texas. Man?
You need to move to Texas and be close to everyone then. Is Georgia even awesome? I mean, it sounds like they have a lot of beer places. I mean, is there like festivals and stuff?
Oh yeah, man. I love Georgia. Atlanta, there's a beer festivals every year in Atlanta. You've got Sweetwater Brewery does like they're doing a 420 fest. Actually, it's coming up on April 20th.
There's Beer Fest here in Austin. They have like 100 different little tents that you go to, and they have tastings. You can buy their beer.
Yeah, man. Austin's pretty happening scene.
Yep.
Isn't the saying for Austin keep Austin weird, right?
Yep. There's a lot of weird people.
He's getting
out another beer.
Got a weird beer. If you want to call this actually beer. Let me see if I can find this on the internet.
Oh, if you have to be 21 to buy it, it's beer.
Okay, well, don't remember if I even remotely got carded to buy this. All right, so this is 0 carbs, 0 alcohol, 0 calories. It is utilizing carbonated water, dry hops, natural brewer's yeast, natural flavors, gluten-free. This is Lagunitas. They're calling it Lagunitas Hop, Hoppy Refresher, and it is their seltzer.
So it's basically carbonated hop water.
Basically,
and you still have to be 21 to buy it.
No, not.
They say on the website it's an IPA-inspired beverage. Lagunitas Hop Water is a fresh take on an old tradition.
Okay, do you have to be 21 to buy an old duel? It's the same thing.
I would guess. Yeah, they're saying that this is an IPA-inspired refreshment. That's 0 alcohol, 0 carbohydrates, 0 calorie. Chocolate of Citra, Equinox, and Centennial hops, as well as natural flavors, and a pinch of brewer's yeast. So there you go.
Yeah, I never got that. I mean, there's 0 alcohol in it, but
wait, are you sure though, Whit? I don't think you have to be 21 to buy that. It's not an alcoholic beverage. Eric, do you have to be 21 to buy that?
Who the hell knows? Oh,
I guarantee you, if it even says the word beer on it, you have to be.
Well, it doesn't say beer on it, I don't think.
It's whatever the store wants to do, they'll do it.
Whatever. I mean, if kids want to buy freaking hop water, let them. Who cares?
No,
It's just similar enough to beer that it's probably a bad idea to let some kid buy a 4-pack.
It's a gateway drink. It's a gateway drink to the real deal.
It's a gateway drink, is right. Yeah. They say
I'm pretty sure you have to be 21 to buy no duels. I'm pretty sure. All right.
Well,
At
Dual
0%.
actually has minimal alcohol in it. It's like point whatever, but it still has alcohol.
Oh, okay.
the brew monster. He's not a brew master. He's a brew monster. Jeremy Marshall. This guy says, think of it like a club soda with soul, lots of soul, like Rick James and James Brown. Rick Brown. Yeah, okay. And then they say you can mix it with your favorite spirit or add a hoppy zing to your cocktail game. So, okay. I'm going to pour this. And when you pour this, I almost said beer. When you
Have you had one of these before? Is this the first time you're trying?
one the other day, so I kind of have a little bit of an idea.
Well, I'm interested to see what you think about that. That's an interesting product for sure.
It kind of fizzes with a little bit of a head, strangely.
It looks
it has like a, I don't know what you call that, like a light key lime kind of color, clear.
kind of like a super light beer, like a straw colored appearance.
Just about, but it's even like more on like a greenish tint to it, like a granny.
How did the Red Sox lose that bad last night? Oh shit!
I don't know. We suck. We are bad right now, but it's only the first
0-10. Oh yeah,
only the first series of the year.
that's pretty hardcore.
I think this would be good with gin or like something a little bit.
What?
I think that would taste good. But it
So basically, put the alcohol back into it.
yeah, exactly. They even say you can do that.
Mix the alcohol back into it.
Right.
You're kidding, but you can hop infuse something else.
Yeah.
That would be the cool part of
Try
it.
that with vodka. That'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it smells exactly like the hopping of just plain old Lagunitas IPA. That's exactly what the amount of hops in here kind of smell like.
So does it smell like a Lagunitas IPA, or it smells like a light beverage with the hops in the IPA?
Well, it smells exactly like the hops that are used in that particular beer from Lagunitas. It doesn't have any, obviously, it doesn't have any of the hop, or let me say this again. It just doesn't have any of the malt heft or the sweetness to give it any real amount of body to it. So it smells exactly as a carbonated water would, but it smells exactly like a little bit of piney and citrus notes that I recall and remember from the hops that are used in a Lagunitas IPA. So if you want a real refreshing version of Lagunitas IPA with all the hops and none of the weighing you down malts, I guess this could be a thing once in a while. Cheers.
All right.
Maybe it's for like pregnant people.
If Trish is still watching, you should. If you can get this hop water, you should try it, Trish.
Again, I had one of them the other day. I had one of them the other day when I bought it. I should have probably poured it in even a cleaner glass. I just had a double dry hopped IPA in this one. There's a little bit of resonance from that beer. But overall, you're getting, again, the tropical and somewhat the piney notes from the Lagunitas IPA kind of hops in there, but just with a real crisp and refreshing carbonated water kind of a kick to it. They're saying they're using
does it have any
in it
hops at all?
Say that again.
Does it have any hop taste at all though, or is it just like, huh?
It certainly does. It certainly does have the and a little bit of a pine needly note to it.
So if you didn't know that it had alcohol, would you say it had alcohol in it, not knowing?
You could, I guess you could be fooled. These days, companies are making alcoholic sparkling seltzer water, so you might think that that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, there's some that they need to make for pregnant people too. I mean, you want to have party too.
What's your thought of such a product like this, John and Nilly?
I would be very interested to try that and see what it's all about. I think maybe like people that like beer that want just want like something that tastes reminiscent of a beer or something like at work or whatever they might want to drink that. Like Flacco from Flacco's Beer Reviews. He made a video, excuse me. He made like a really quick video when he was at work and he was drinking the Heineken 0.0%, and just as a drink while he was at work.
Jesus, Heineken at work of any kind? Wow.
Well, I mean, so I think it's interesting. Like if people really like the flavor of beer and hops and stuff like that much, and they want to drink it during their day-to-day activities, work, whatever it may be, stay-at-home mom, you want to, you don't want to get drunk.
Back yet.
You want the taste of beer. I mean, it's an interesting concept. Like I said, though, I would like to try it, but I wouldn't be willing to spend a lot of money on it. I can get the Heineken 0.0%, but why the hell would I buy a 6-pack of a 0% beer for $8.99? I don't know.
I think John Anilli, or you're John Anilli. I think Jeremy Vincent is saying the bottle has more value than the product.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I mean,
it was $5.99 for a 4-pack of this, so maybe not the world's greatest value when you can just go and buy like Schweppes Club Soda or seltzer water for cheaper than that. But
that doesn't have hops in it though.
It doesn't have.
But the alcohol, the brewing process is why beer is so expensive. Not really the hops. Like the time that it takes to make the beer is why it costs so much. Because I mean, for even like just a standard beer, you're looking at least a 2-week process from start to end. And time is money. But for hop water, there's no time involved in that. You take the hops, you put it in there. You don't have to ferment it. You don't have to do anything. You bottle it and you send it off to the stores. So I think it's kind of a ripoff for that price. I mean, I could buy a 42-pack of great value bottled water for like less than $2.
Damn.
At Walmart, or maybe not that cheap. I mean, it's cheap. It's very
probably
cheap.
like $4. Let's say $4.
All right, even $4 for 42 bottled water.
Yeah,
you're buying it for the novelty fact that it's got hops in it. In that,
right? But is the novelty factor? Does the novelty make it worth the price? I don't know.
Probably
I haven't had it. But
however, there are probably the other really big thing that's been going around the last several years plus have been the craft spirits and the craft cocktail, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, how you can kind of mix this with your cocktails in cocktails and with spirits. I think that's another big segment in the alcohol market these days is the craft spirits, the craft cocktail movement. And I think this just goes perfectly in line with that whole vibe and that whole scene where you can start with, regardless of if you think this is a really high-end seltzer type water, I think it is for what it is. I think there are going to be a lot of craft people that may see this and try it, and they may want to pair it with some different spirits. The other thing I was thinking of is how Wet Dream said this would probably go good with vodka. I am getting a little itty bitty undertone of like cucumber, strangely enough. So maybe it would go good with some more spritzier, refreshing summertime type beverages. Wow. With the hop flavor, with that citrus and the pine, kind of really giving it a different depth of flavor. Maybe this would go good with like a new Amsterdam gin that already kind of has a really nice fruity complexion, or you could take the hopping and some of the pioneer notes from this beverage and then add it to Tanqueray that has a lot of the pioneer notes and really make that thing shine in the pine. Or again, use a very clean, neutral vodka and it'll just taste like hop water once again, but with more of a kick.
Right.
There's a lot of ways you can do it, I think, with this.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see that the market is evolving and people are into different things now. It'll be interesting to see a few months from now I guess since this is a newer product, to see if it actually is selling and the people that are buying the product, what they're doing with it. If they're drinking it just, neat or straight up out of the bottle or whatever, or if they're buying it to mix with other alcoholic products, mostly liquor, I would assume, to make like a cocktail. That's going to be the interesting thing to me, is to see what direction this product goes in, like what the consumers are doing with it. If that
Well, to
makes
see, there's the other option is some people maybe they can't drink beer, with alcohol or stuff like that, and they want something that tastes like it.
But honestly, I don't think there. I mean, do you really think there's that many people out there that can't drink alcohol, that just crave the flavor of beer?
There's a lot of people that have cirrhosis where they can't drink anymore. So
Yeah, but that would be depressing as hell to drink like hop water.
To be completely
I don't
honest,
know.
I think in general, now we talked about the bottled water, and then I mentioned Schweppes, club soda, seltzer water. Be it what it may do, price point alone, I think this is just generally a pretty crisp, clean, refreshing type of a beverage that would be really good when you want to quench your thirst and just sort of have that extra flavor to it. Yeah, it reminds me of hops, and it's reminding me, like as they say, of a IPA inspired kind of a beverage, but it's really not entirely reminding me of IPA because it doesn't have any of that malty flavor that we associate with the whole beer thing. And now seeing brewers' yeast is in this and hops. The only thing that's not in it now are any other kind of grains, and it's not brewed to have alcohol. So not to have those. So hops, water, yeast, and malt. Actually, the only ingredient that's missing in this hops, water, yeast, and malt is the malt. So now trying this beer, it's just basically like a beer without any malt in it, which has to be in there to really create this as a beer. You have to have those malts in there that are going to ferment with the yeast to create that alcohol. Now, obviously, there are malt beverages. There are these sparkling hard waters now out there, but that's what you really need is the malt to make it a beer. So it's just kind of interesting to think if you wanted to think about this as a beer and ask yourself, well, gee, I wonder what a beer might taste like without malt. This is about as close as you're going to get to that experience. I would have.
would you buy it again? Now that's the other question.
I probably would buy it again, and for me, if I bought another 4-pack, I would like to try different cocktail combinations with it.
I think that's probably the best application for it, or I think that's probably what people are buying it for, or will buy it for, is to make like beer inspired cocktails, because that to me makes the most sense. Like, I don't think people are going to buy it
Yeah.
regularly just to drink it because they like the flavor of hops. I really don't.
That's where I found it at the beer at their liquor store. Was in the section of the store where all the different cocktail mixers were.
Yeah.
Exactly where it was marketed in the store.
See that? Yeah, that makes sense. That would, I could see some pretty interesting cocktails made with that.
Yeah, I have no ill will towards that. I'm really thinking that New Amsterdam gin or the American style gin that's got a really nice citrus forward note as opposed to pine sap and needles would taste really good with this. So, or maybe even tequila. I don't know. Having a little bit of lime in here or a little bit of lemon would be a really nice combination with that. There are probably so many different things you could do with this, and the possibilities are endless on that. The only website I found for beer rating purposes was Untapped that have this hop water from Lagunitas on their website. And out of 61 ratings added the 1st of March for this beverage, they're giving it a 3.63 out of 5. So good received ratings thus far from the rate beer or from the Untapped people.
I could see a lot of good, I worked in a bar for a while, kind of, got pretty good at making cocktails and stuff. I could see, like, I'll give you an example. A mojito, okay? So you got rum, You've got fresh mint.
Oh my
You've
god.
got okay. So instead of the seltzer water, you use the hop water, and
There you go.
so
There you
something
go.
like that. I think that would be very refreshing and give a mojito, a standard mojito, a little extra kick, flavor, and so I could see it as a great mixer in some really refreshing cocktails like a mojito or a mint julep or even like something with bourbon because like let's see, like an old fashioned, but kind of top it off a little bit of the hop water to complement the orange and the bourbon.
What about a Bloody?
I can see a lot of good cocktails being made with that.
Bloody Mary would be a good one too, where you put on a little bit on top.
Bloody Mary maybe, but Bloody Mary with the tomato juice and everything, it's more heavy. I think for cocktails, I think it needs to be like a lighter cocktail to where the flavor will come through. With a Bloody Mary with the Bloody Mary mix, I think it would kind of cover up the flavor of the hop, the hop.
Maybe you can add this to Bud Light if you want hops in your Bud Light. Oh, damn.
There you go. If you want a light IPA, you take a Bud Light and then pour that in there, and then you got a hoppy light beer.
There you go.
The applications the possibilities are endless, people.
I think this is really good. $5.99 good. It's good to have. I mean, I've noticed it too. Even if you go in those sections of the liquor stores, there are so many different crafty tonic waters and seltzer waters too.
I'm pretty sure there is, and it's for liquors.
I found my relatives actually ended up liking. I forget, they're little like 8 or 9 ounce bottles. This tonic water brand, they make an elderflower tonic water, and just alone by itself is pretty delicious. So I think this is maybe not a new segment, but I think all the crafty beer, no, I think all the crafty cocktail people are gonna jump on something like this. So
yeah.
So instead of so like they have a sunflower tasting what do you call it, water like that too. Why would people try that? I mean, it tastes like sunflower.
What do you think of that, John? Sunflower water.
Sunflower water. I don't know anything about that.
So I don't know. 88 out of 100. It's pretty good for what it is, but if you're just thirsty, you can chug the shit out of that.
Yeah.
It's got 3 mcg of vitamin D, not even that much, and 65 milligrams of potassium. This is
see, but it has no calories, no gluten free, no alcohol. What more do you want?
Boom! There you go, people. It's right there.
Oh wow! It's got the that's okay. That's cool.
It's got a date on the bottle, guys, but I don't know what the hell it means unless John can interpret Lagunitas.
Oh no, Lagunitas uses a funky lot code. I think I don't know.
Are you drinking the same beer now?
Me?
John? Yeah.
I'm drinking Natty Bo.
Okay.
How's that going?
It's good. I wish it was available here, just like I wish Red Dog and Country Club and Old Milwaukee Ice and all those other brands were, but it's. I think I already posted a review on my channel. I'm not sure.
I know you did a Red Dog.
I think I did National Bohemian. I did National Bohemian. Because
Did you buy all 12 packs of those, or you just bought singles of all the ones?
No, I bought a 12 pack, and it's almost gone. So I know I did a review actually.
Ladies and gentlemen,
hey, I mean it's an A beer.
Gary Owens in the building. What's up, sir?
Gary.
Not much. I didn't realize that y'all were still on air, so
that's okay. You may join. And are you enjoying any beverages on the Tennessee side of YouTube?
Yes, I am. I am having a beer that I once adamantly despised, but now I enjoy it, and it's making me question a lot of things. Natty Daddy.
Ooh.
Natty Daddy. All right.
This is not the Natty Daddy that I remember. Because I remember it just being only sweetness and alcohol and being very disgusting, but it tastes like they've reformulated it and they've redone it and they've done it right. And it's just like, okay, I'm really confused. It's good. It really reminds me of like a super natural ice with no water in it. It's basically what it tastes like now. They could add a little bit more body to it because the alcohol presence is much more prominent in the body, and it does smack you in the face, and I don't like that. But I mean, overall, I'd give it like a B minus. I mean, it's good.
How would you compare it, Gary, to the? Have you had the Hurricane High Gravity?
Oh yeah, I've definitely had that.
Which do you prefer?
I would prefer the Hurricane High Gravity just because it's much more balanced. Like the body and the alcohol have a much different ratio. Like you can taste the alcohol, but it blends in with the body. This is like the exact opposite.
Okay.
Have you tried the natural ice watermelon?
Ugh, no.
Is that a real thing?
Nice watermelon.
Yeah, the new one that just came out.
Oh, you're talking about Natty Rush, the Natty Rush watermelon.
Oh yeah,
there
I've
you
had
go.
those.
There you go.
They're okay.
It's
Natty Rush watermelon is getting a 2.61 out of 648 ratings on Untapped.
Where did you rate that beer, John? I think you did try it. You said.
Yeah, well, I did the Natty. That was a while back. For a flavored malt beverage, which is what it is, it's probably in the A to B range. It's not something I'll be buying again, probably ever. But
I don't know. You could have a girlfriend that likes that, and you would not to buy it again. So, wouldn't say ever.
Not for myself. Okay, I'll just put it like that.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, it was good for what it is, but it's just not my cup of tea.
No, gotcha.
I'm a beer. If I'm gonna drink stuff that's sweet like that or whatever, I'd rather just have a glass of wine.
You ever have
better.
The Natty Rush line of malt beverages, Gary?
Yeah, I have. I've had the blue one and the red one. I've never tried the watermelon.
The watermelon is probably my least favorite. The blue one, the frostbite, is probably the best one in my opinion.
Punch and frostbite, those are probably the two.
Frostbite was my favorite, but I will not.
What is the percent of alcohol in the frostbite? Is it what, 5?
8%.
Oh
no, it's like 12%.
There's according to Untapped, that's the website I'm on now. They have an 8% Natty Rush Hurricane Punch, and apparently there's a 12% version.
Yeah, the smaller cans are the 14%. Those are the ones that I had, I think. And then they sell the 24-ounce cans. Those are 12%.
Are those similar to?
I think the ones that I had were 14%. If I'm not mistaken, I have to go back and look at my video just to know.
Similar to like the Butter-Ritas or whatever those things are called.
Lime-A-Ritas.
The Bud Light. The Bud Light Lime-A-Ritas are 8%. Lot lower ABV.
And there's a whole lot of them in that line. There's probably like 6 or 7.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's like probably 15.
Probably more than that.
Honestly.
I only seen like 6. So okay.
I've reviewed at least 10, probably more than that.
According to this website I'm on, they say Natty Light, Natty Ice, Natty Daddy, and now Natty Rush. Hate on the idea of getting blind drunk all you want, but no other industry has seen the innovation and evolution that the jet fuel alcohol industry has. Cancer is still a thing. Last time I checked.
Yeah. Wow.
And hey, sex scientists, how are we progressing on contraceptives that are literally anything other than condoms? Yeah, that's what I thought. Get back to work, virgins. Holy crap. All right, this is the brobible.com, by the way. There you go. So yes, we're calling this segment of beers the jet fuel alcohol line.
I thought that's heavy.
That would be Four Loco Gold. I still have
Oh,
not.
I've had that. That's 14%.
I've had it. It's like a Red Bull with a bunch of alcohol in it. That's what it tastes like.
What do you think of that, Gary?
Of what?
Four
I'll
Loco.
be right back, guys.
Four Loco Gold?
Yeah.
It's one of the better Four Locos that are out there. I mean, to be honest, it really reminds me of like a Red Bull and a Green Monster mixed with a little bit of vodka and rum. I mean, it's not really all that complex.
Do you like the pineapple flavored Four Loco?
Don't know if I had that one or not. I know I've tried most of them. And tonight, when I was out at the grocery store, I got these 4-pack of Natty Daddy pints for $3.99. And as I was looking through the tall can section, I'm like, oh, hey, they got a new one, Four Loco Red. I'll have to try that one.
Have you tried Four Loco Black?
Yeah. Oh, God. That one was nasty. That one tasted like...
It tasted like licorice to me.
It tasted like...
alcohol.
No, it didn't taste like licorice. It tasted like
What did I say here?
like a really, really old Mountain Dew that's been sitting out in the sun for about a month, mixed with like some really boozy vodka. It was nasty.
Four Loco nights are always unexpected and adventurous. Your night could end in glory, or it could end in you finishing an entire pizza by yourself in bed, which is kind of glory.
Or in jail. You forgot or in jail.
Black is just as bold as your Four Loco night out. We won't tell you what it tastes like. You'll just have to start out. You just have to find out at the start of your next Four Loco story. According to 4loco.com, that is some BS right there.
What about fruit punch? Do you like the fruit punch one?
Oh, I don't. My wife liked the fruit punch, but I didn't. My favorite is the peach, the watermelon, the gold, the strawberry lemonade, and there was one other one I really liked.
Grape, huh?
What about blue raspberry?
The blue raspberry.
Frost.
Yeah, we tried that one. That one was all right. That's kind of like the middle of the road for Locos,
I thought the
guess.
cotton candy was the best one.
Wait, they have a cotton candy?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Didn't know that. I'll try it. I'll be on the lookout for it.
Cotton candy.
So if anyone's
it
been
was a
wondering-
seasonal one last year. They had it. Maybe they still have it. I don't know. See, what they do is they get you hooked on one and then they take it away.
So if anyone's wondering where I've been the past little bit, primarily just working and just doing my own thing here recently.
Goody. Sometimes
I have my own Facebook page where I post all my reviews now.
Excellent.
It's called Gary's Reviews. I'll PM it to anybody who wants it.
Gary's Reviews.
That's on Facebook. I've done a little bit. I've done some more craft beer reviews here recently.
What's good in craft beer lately for Gary?
Well, I've been venturing into the world of IPAs.
I know that's your favorite, wink nudge.
No. I mean, along the journey, there have been, some good IPAs along the way that stand out, but still, my overall impression of them has not really changed that much. They're still just dime a dozen.
You might just like the one I'm drinking right now. It's from Lagunitas. It's a hoppy refresher called Hop Water. It doesn't have alcohol or malt or carbs or calories.
What
No
the
alcohol.
hell is that?
It is seltzer water with Chinook, Equinox, and Simcoe hops.
Ugh.
Cascade.
No. Ugh. That just sounds nasty.
It's
No
better-
alcohol in it, too. They won't even get you drunk.
No, you have to drink 17 of them, and then we'll just make you go to the bathroom. John,
No, I would rather not.
you would rather not drink hop water, it says Gary.
No.
Have you ever had more than 3-4 Locos in a day? That's the other question.
Ooh.
No, the most I've ever had is 2 in a night.
Ow. Oh, well,
I don't even think anyone could drink 3 of them. I think that would probably kill you.
If I was in my teens, yeah, I probably could, but now, no.
I drank 2 Four Loco golds one time
Ooh, wow.
in my life, and I regret it.
Yep.
I
If you
can't
drink
drink.
3 of those, you probably would kill you, or end up
No,
doing something stupid.
I mean, I this was a couple years ago. I mean, and I've got a pretty high alcohol tolerance. I drank 2 of those because they were tasting good. I was, I like Red Bull. It tasted like Red Bull with a little alcohol in it. And I woke up the next morning and I thought I was dead. It was bad.
It's not that I can't drink them. It's just anything that's like really sugary, I don't drink. Like here recently, I've been drinking some pop from the past that I used to drink a lot called Fago, because where I work at, we started carrying it, and I'm just kind of reliving nostalgia, to be honest.
I would
Have you ever heard of a drink called slime? I don't know if they have that there.
slime.
Nah.
No.
It's
No,
from the 90s. I mean, it's
We had Surge growing up. That was like Mountain Dew on crack.
Yeah, they have Surge,
Wow.
Surge at Burger King now.
you could buy that at Burger King. Yeah.
Yep, they got that as a
It's
fountain.
reformulated though. The original
Oh, is
version
it?
that came out when I was a kid had like a ton of caffeine and all kinds of stuff in it, and it would, like exploded people's hearts, so they had to discontinue.
Yeah. That's like the formula for Loco where they took it off the market.
Right. Well, they had caffeine and all the energy drink stuff in there, so it was like playing with people's. It was like a depressant and a stimulant combined into one, and it was like killing people. I think.
I mean, honestly, people can do that easily. Just buy an energy drink and put it together, and it's the same shit.
That's
Yeah,
why
because
Well,
in
they
high
could,
school, that's
but
what we would drink.
Yeah, they could technically do that, but they're not going to be held liable if it's two separate products, and you're mixing it together yourself makes you responsible.
don't roll your marijuana inside of your gas station cigars. Then you'll get all of the high of the weed and all of the high of that nicotine straight to your bloodstream. Not good.
I mean, to be honest, it's not that Four Loko is bad or that the alcohol will bother me if I drunk like 3. And like I said, anything sugary, I don't do.
Yeah, you get that heartburn kind of feeling, don't you?
It's not that it gives me heartburn. It's just it just doesn't set well with me. Not that it makes me sick. It's just anything with a lot of sugar, which they put a lot of sugar in Four Loko, so I can't do it.
Basically,
how much sugar is in a Four Loko? I don't even know.
I don't know, but I could definitely tell you this: like the Fago Pop that I've been drinking, compared to like Coke and Pepsi, it has a lot less sugar. It relies more upon flavor than sugary sweetness. Like for a 12-ounce serving, only 23 grams of sugar.
Okay, Mountain Dew has 38 grams of sugar for 12. Yeah, so it's about that. Yeah, I got
Really,
it.
I thought Mountain Dew had like a hell of a lot more, or they've toned it down a lot.
I'm looking at it right now. I have a can right here. It says 38 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
I remember it being a lot higher.
Maybe that's a 20 ounce. This is 12 ounce.
According to this website I'm on, tasteessence.com. I don't even know if this is true or not. The ingredients for Loco. The ingredients that initially formed the base of this malt beverage were alcohol, caffeine, taurine, wormwood, and guarana. Now, I thought wormwood was a psychological property of absinthe. Am I not right?
It is. Wormwood is an absinthe.
So, Four Loko can get you seeing things. What?
No, I never did it.
What?
Absinthe. I've had absinthe before, and it doesn't make you hallucinate or anything. It just kind of makes you. It's a different type of buzz. It kind of gives you more of a body.
Like a mellow.
Yeah, they don't have available to us. So when absinthe became legal in the United States again, and that company from New York State, the Lucid company, started putting out their absinthe. So I guess the thing about the absinthe in the United States is it doesn't have. Somehow it says Four Loko does. I'm confused about that, but it doesn't have the wormwood and that psychoactive ingredient that sort of makes you get high and see shit and stuff. That's not the legal kind of absinthe here in the United States. But if you go to places like France where absinthe was invented, or you go overseas, you might find the absinthe that has that full-fledged ingredient list in it. So interesting. But I can't imagine that it's got the same wormwood as an absinthe does. That's a little interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I'll try this red here at some other point just to see what I think of it, but I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of enjoying Natty Daddy, and it's just really throwing me off my groove and really confusing me because I hated this beer and now I like it.
I'm still disappointed that that Heffenrepher private stock malt liquor's been off the market for several years. That was just like a Heineken or a Carlsberg, but with a little bit more of a maltier oomph. And I really did like that malt liquor. But you know, things come and go. And I think it was actually brewed somewhere in New England, and it was a 40-ounce beer, so that was kind of cool. I know they didn't think the world of it, but their slogan for good reasoning was it's the one with the imported taste. It did taste like a Heineken mixed with the Carlsberg and those kind of flavors. So if you can find it really, that's why I like Mickey's too. Is that it? Like John was saying it a little bit earlier, it really is like a beer first and foremost, and then okay, maybe you can kind of get the sweetness of a malt liquor, but it just tastes like a beer, like a just good macro beer first and foremost.
If you just want like the most stereotypical beer tasting malt liquor, just get an OE 800.
Yeah, that's very unoffensive, inoffensive.
Now the OE 800 HG,
Yeah.
not so much. I mean,
we have a hard time in New England getting high gravity style malt liquors besides like maybe St. Ides and 211.
I will say this also about Natty Daddy.
Yep.
It is a malt liquor, high gravity malt liquor that actually gets better as it warms.
Confirm or deny that, John and Nilly.
Which one gets better?
The Natty Daddy. It gets better as it warms.
Ooh, whoa.
Ooh,
you want to experiment with that and get back to us there, John?
No, I mean for me, no. For me, it doesn't. But
like as it warms, the alcohol that kind of slaps you in the face doesn't slap you in the face anymore. It just blends in with the body. If I was to guess the temperature, it's probably about, I'd probably say right at 40 degrees.
So yeah, that's not extremely warm in the grand scheme of European or German or Belgian beer drinking tradition.
Yeah.
But that's good. Yeah, okay. You're probably right about that then.
Well, I mean, like I said, it gets better as it warms. Like I said, it is definitely not the Natty Daddy I remember. This is definitely a much better reformulated Natty Daddy.
I don't mean to cut anybody off. I want to keep this conversation rolling. I don't know if we want to go live for 17 hours and 14 days, but we're going to keep this conversation rolling. And yeah, Gary Owens, you joined. Crazy. Yeah, sweet. That is John and Nilly. Wet Dream, cool dude. State of Texas, state of Massachusetts, Thomas Metal, 75 matches of beer reviews. If you want some hops and no alcohol, try that if you ever see it in your area. Until next time, keep tasting those great beers. I'm out. Cheers.
Cheers.
And maybe Wednesday for me, I'll get back to you all and let you know.